Good morning, children. Today I am going to explain you verb tenses, that is different types of tenses, past, present and future. But before that, you should know what exactly the tense means. So for that, let's have a look to few sentences. Birds fly in the air. My brother flew to England last week. I shall fly a kite on Sunday. So students, in these sentences, different verbs are being used. Like in first sentence, birds fly in the air. Fly is the verb used here. In the second sentence, my brother flew to England last week. Flew is the verb used. So students, what did you understand from these different kinds of verbs? So, tense of a verb shows the time when an action takes place. Fine. As we all know, there are three kinds of time. In three types of time: present, past and future. So similarly, there are three kinds of tenses: present tense, past tense and future tense. Clear, students? So in order to show at what stage an action is, each of these three tenses, present, past and future, these three tenses are subdivided into four heads. That is present simple, present continuous, present perfect and present perfect continuous. Similarly, past simple, past continuous, past perfect, past perfect continuous, and future simple, future continuous, future perfect and future perfect continuous. So these are subheads for three types of tenses. Clear, students? So in this part of the video, I will be explaining you simple present tense in detail.
But before that, let us see what Mr. Lee does on a normal working day. Every day he wakes up at 7 a.m. and prepares for his day. He showers, eats his breakfast and puts on his uniform. He rides a scooter to school and checks with his supervisor. Then he climbs into the bus and starts the engine. He pulls out of the parking lot and begins his route. At his first stop, he picks up Mrs. Faines, who lives in a red house in the corner of the main street at the 7th Avenue. She works as a second grade English teacher. At the next stop, it is Howard's turn to get into the bus. More children get on at the next stops and they ride until the bus reaches the school. Mr. Lee enjoys seeing the kids every day and he is happy to see them again in the afternoon when he drives them safely back home. So this is what Mr. Lee does on a normal working day. Now, did you notice that all the actions have taken place at the time of speaking? So students, it is a regular action. Now, what did you understand from this finding? When a verb expresses action at the time of speaking or it is a regular action, it is in the present tense. Now the verbs in the present tense that came across in the story are wakes, showers, eats, puts, writes, checks, climbs, starts, pulls, begins, picks, lives and many.
So students, basically we use simple present tense when an action is happening right now or when it happens regularly. Clear? So the simple present tense is formed by adding s to the base form of the verb for third person singular. Means, students, in simple present tense we always use first form of the verb and secondly we use s and es. Clear? So now the question comes that where we will be using s and where we will be using es. Clear? See, if the subject is I, you, we and they, here we will be using only V1, that is first form of the verb. No S or ES will be used. But students, with third person singular subjects, we will be using S and ES with the first form of the verb. For example, she eats the chocolate. Now students, here she is the third person singular subject. Clear? So in such cases, with the verb, we will be using S or ES. Like eat was the verb given to you here. So here I have used S. Clear? So whenever he, she, it is given to you or any third person singular subject is given to you, there you will be using S or ES with the first form of the verb. Clear? So you need to keep in mind this thing. Fine students? Let us see one more example. He goes to the market. So here students, the verb given to you is go. Clear? And again he is the third person singular subject. Yes, this is the singular pronoun used here. Third person singular subject. He is the third person used here. So that's why here again I will be using S or ES with first form of the verb. Now the verb given to you here was go. So with go I have used ES here. He goes to the market. Clear students? So just keep this thing in mind. Whenever in a sentence he, she, it is given to you, then with these subjects you will be using S or ES with the verb. So always keep this thing in your mind. Again, now what are these singular subjects and plural subjects? Clear? Now students, as in this picture, in picture 1, you can see I have written child plays. So here I am talking about single child. Yes? So since I am talking about single child here, so students, here I will be using S or ES with the verb. So I have written child plays. I have added S with the verb play. Clear? Now similarly here I have written children play. Now students, here I am talking about more than one subject. Yes, I am saying children. Now if I am saying children, it means plural subject. Yes, and with plural subject, you will be using only first form of the verb. S or es will not be added with these plural subjects. Clear? So, here in case of singular subjects, rule is subject plus V1 plus S or es plus object. So students, subject is, what is subject? Subject means the person who is performing the action. Clear? And object means on which the action is being performed. Means who is the receiver of the action. That is known as object. So, in case of singular subjects, what will be the rule? Subject plus V1 plus S or es plus object. Now in case of plural subjects, rule will be subject plus V1 plus object. Here S or es will not be used. Clear students? Let's see one more example. John. Here I am talking about John. Clear? John is the singular subject here. John plays football. So students, here John is the subject. Why? Because he is performing the action. He is playing football. It means John is performing the action. Clear? So here John is the singular subject. Football. Football is the object here because on this the action is being performed. So football is the object here. Plays. Plays is the verb here. Play is the verb here. Now what are verbs, students? Verbs are the action words. So play is the verb here. Now students, with play I have added S. Can you see I have marked S here with yellow color? So with play I have used S. Why? Because verb is used with singular subject here, and with singular subject we always use S and ES. Clear? So John plays football. Now let's see the second example, John and Sean. Now here students, two subjects are there na? John and Sean. So I'm talking about two subjects. It means plural subjects. Fine. So with plural subject, we have to use only first form of the verb. Now here with play, I have not used S or ES. Clear? So you have to keep these things in mind. In simple present tense, we always use first form of the verb, but with singular subjects, we use S or ES, and with plural subjects, we only use first form of the verb, that is V1. Clear students? Now if the sentences come to you with question word, then what will be the rule? So students, in such cases, first of all you will be using question word. Clear? Means whatever question word is given to you, what, who, whom, these type of words are the question words. So you will be using question word plus do, does, means either do will come or does will come, plus subject plus root form of the verb. What is the root form of the verb? V1. Clear? Now you generally confused between where to use do and where to use does. So students, with third person singular pronouns, you use does and is. Clear? So does and is are used with third person singular pronouns. Clear? Now what are these third person singular pronouns? He, she and it. These are the third person singular pronouns. Clear, students? So with third person singular pronouns, we always use does, and with singular nouns also we use does and is. Clear? And with other personal pronouns we use do. Fine, students? See, you can see in this chart also with I, we, you and they. These are all personal pronouns. With this we will be using do. But with third person singular pronouns means he, she and it, we will be using does. Clear, students? So this is how we use do and does in simple present tense. Now where to use this simple present tense? Means how we can use this simple present tense in different type of sentences. So students, whenever we are talking about the actions which are done as a matter of habit, means which the actions which are regularly done and which the person is in the habit of doing those actions. Okay, so in such cases we use simple present tense. For example, monkey eats bananas, or I should say monkeys eat bananas. So now monkeys are in the habit of eating bananas. Yes, we all know this, that monkeys, they are in the habit of eating bananas. So in such cases we will be using simple present tense. Clear, students? Now students, take care of these things. I have written monkeys. With monkeys I am using the verb eat. Clear? But if I say the monkey, if I will write only monkey, then I will use the verb eats, not eat. Clear? So this is how you differentiate between S or ES, means where to use S and where to use ES. Clear? And for the repeated actions also you use simple present tense only. He goes for long walks. Then if some scientific fact or permanent truth is given to you, there you will be using simple present tense. A magnet attracts iron. So verb attract is given to you. Clear? So magnet is the singular third subject being used here. So I have used S with attract. Then yoga exercises keep us fit. So yoga exercises. Exercise is the verb used here. Clear? So this is also a permanent truth. So in such cases you will be using simple present tense. Then if some proverb is used, then also you will be using simple present tense, like fortune favors the brave. Soft words win hearts. So these are the proverbs being used. So in such cases you will be using simple present tense. Now whenever we express some natural qualities or professional activities, there also we will be using simple present tense only. Like honey tastes sweets. Now this is the natural quality of honey, that it is sweet. Yes, so in such cases also you will be using simple present tense. Clear, students? Now there are some exceptions to these simple present tense, See, describing something that is a part of a given situation. Here, so in winters it gets dark quite early. So when something is given to you as a part of situation. Clear? There also you will be using simple present tense. Then if you are giving some instructions or you are offering advice, there you will be using simple present tense only. And in case of exclamatory sentences, you use simple present tense. So these are the many other uses of simple present tense. So I hope you understood what exactly the tense is and what is simple present tense. Clear? So just watch the video very carefully and try different types of exercises in order to get good in these tenses. Okay students, thank you so much. Have a good day.